Donna here from the Everything Saxophone Podcast. We're here at the NAMM 2024 show. We're at the Rovner booth. In fact, they're sponsoring us for the entire show. Yay them.
Thank you.
I should have brought, balloons and streamers to celebrate their 50th anniversary. I forgot to do that. That would have been fun with the party horns and all that kind of thing.
Well, we do have on the other side, we have a balloon pull-up, and we want you to sign it.
Oh, I did.
Okay.
I did sign it. And actually, can you grab me that 50th, the thing where we put the head through?
Over your face.
The sign?
Right there.
The sign.
That. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
All
so
right.
Those of you that follow me on social media, look for this. Oh, that's going to be a great thumbnail for this.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
That's awesome. Oh, well, I'm here with George Reeder, and we are at the NAMM Show. They always have a ridiculously amazing display, and just giving you a really quick view, those of you that couldn't be here, all right, so you can see it. But George, hey, it's great seeing you again.
Always, Donna. A pleasure.
So,
and by the way, that booth design is by my wife, Lynn.
Yes, she's amazing. She does all the advertising too. And here's the funny story. So I read all like the music industry rags, the newsletters, all that kind of thing. And I noticed this. I always notice the Rovner advertising because it's really good. It's funny. It's engaging. And then I saw they've got a new ligature. What? How did I not know about this? I want to know.
Aren't there enough?
No,
well,
never.
We could explain that.
So can you talk about the new LGX ligature?
I'm happy to. Thank you. Rovner started out in 1974, as Donna said, 50 years in business, continually innovating. We do want to thank Phil Rovner for entrusting my wife and me to take over the business and continue that vein of innovation, and for the end user, for the player. Our other ligatures initially were what I call generalists. And over time, we've become targeted behavioral or response or tonal qualities that you're looking for. So as I was looking at our total line, I felt that we could dial in even a very special behavior, and that's loud. Now that's kind of funny because you think, yeah, you play loud, but you want to play loud with a high quality tonal. You wanted to be invested in the people as they hear it, and yet you wanted to have a full body. We came up with that. It's called the LGX, and it's really hot looking. It's made in the 98% of the sizes that are used, and its design is for extreme behaviors or places where you have to play. Marching band, when you need the most out of woodwinds, you're going to get a lot of sound with a nice cut, but it still retains the body. If you're military bands, again, you're out in environments that are harsh. You've got to play hard to be heard, and you do that very nicely now with the LGX. In the, say, jazz band, you can get a lot of flexibility with this and a lot of presence. LGX is great for, there are bands in Mexico that like to play really loud.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
And I don't know what they're called.
La Banda. Or
yeah, right. And so we're not going to help them out and give them more bottom with all the top they could ever want. And the beauty of this is that it will, whatever you give it, it just won't break the note. It just allows you to give more and more. And typically, you're limited by the equipment for how much you can give.
Yeah.
So this ligature is now freeing that space to give even more. We do this with all of our patents and a little bit of ingenuity.
Let me say something with regard to that, because this is interesting. And as you're talking, I'm just thinking to myself, a lot of times what people will do is they'll change mouthpieces for one situation to another. What I'm thinking in my head is someone who, wants to play combos, wants to play, softer settings or whatever, you may use a particular setup, but here you can use your mouthpiece, maybe just change the ligature if needed.
Oh, absolutely. So we have one of our ambassadors stop by who's a clarinetist and saxophone player, And he loves the Versa X, which is a fantastic ligature. It's one of my favorites. So I said, here, let's test this out. So he played. I said, I want you to play. It was very, very loud. I said, I want you to play with your Versa X. And he started pushing because he needed to push because he couldn't be heard. As he pushed, he started to get diffused. Now, normally the Versa X in not an extreme setting is beautifully dark and rich. We put the LGX on, and he began to sing and be heard with a full body, and became crystal clear and focused. So it's very unusual. And what for him originally said, I can't hear myself. With the Versa X he could. But then as I explained to him, here's what's going on, we're targeting your response and where you're going. He was then able to, after maybe 15 minutes, realize what was going on. And then he got even more out because we're typically limited by our equipment and don't realize it.
Yes.
And initially you're not getting that feedback that your people in the audience are getting.
That's
so
right.
So over time you're learning now how you're breathing and how much you can push, and that you can do more than you even thought you could.
You know, that's interesting. He's talking about the feedback that you get when you play, and you feel the vibrations in your head, and sometimes when you can't hear yourself, the obvious thing, the gut reaction is to overblow. You don't want to overblow, but when I'm thinking about having this type of ligature will stop that gut reaction from happening.
So what I believe is that you're not overblowing, you're actually over-focusing now. Because you're being able to get into this kind of sense of, oh, now I can begin to see that it's actually very, very targeted. And when I blow more, it's not breaking the note, it's not deteriorating, it's giving it clarity. Most unusual.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. A lot of like the Aviva mouthpiece, right? Clarity.
Yes, exactly right.
What George always says is that the ligatures, the mouthpieces, solve problems, right?
Yes,
so this
right.
is solving the problem of you have to play in extreme situations. I'm going to think a lot of times outdoors as well, too, where you lose the sound, and this is going to help you to get that clarity,
yes.
Not just in the sound, but also for your own peace of mind as you're playing.
Right. So anyway, that's our latest ligature, and there will be more to come in the future because as there are new needs, we want to have new solutions.
Do we have a copy of that ligature? Can we show that?
So here it is, or I'll let you do it.
Yeah, so let's check this out. So this is the image I saw in the ads was this. And my first impression was because I couldn't see it clearly enough, I thought it was a string ligature, but it's not. And then when I came here to NAMM a couple of days ago, I saw the inside and I thought, that looks like a Versa. But it's the combination of
the Legacy and the Van Gogh.
And the Van Gogh. Now this is interesting. So those of you that have been following me know that for a while I was playing the Van Gogh ligature, and some of you were like, Donna, you've got your ligature on wrong. Don't you know how to put it on?
That's funny.
I'm like, I think so. Yes,
well,
I do.
the thing about us is we don't follow the convention. We're trying to create new ways of innovating, and it doesn't matter how it was done before. And so we look at what works. It's a lot of trial and error. We start out with an idea, but after that it's just playing and listening and playing and listening.
Yeah, for sure. So I have not tried this yet. I am going to be doing a review, in the next couple of months or so. So this way you get an idea of what's going on here. But in terms of, there's no really read specifications for this at all. But
no.
I'm just looking at this. It's going in the mouthpiece. Just this. What's really unique about this is that
highly
inside.
efficient.
Yeah.
And it's giving a fuller body than you would expect. So if you need more presence quickly, swapping out a ligature is great.
I have a question too, because so on the Van Gogh ligature,
yeah.
the cool thing about that is that I didn't have to totally tighten the ligature.
Right.
I could let it go a quarter turn, a half turn, a full turn, and I would get more power.
Yes.
Is there something similar with this?
So with this particular ligature, it's more that it's doing most of the work with whatever the tension is. I always recommend experimenting with tension and with location of where it might be.
Right, okay.
Because that can matter. But ultimately, it's designed to put on and go. And then as you get a chance to enjoy time with it, you'll find what might work best for your setup or your mouthpiece, or because your mouthpiece maybe it's not flat and you need a little more tension. So it has nothing to do with how this ligature behaves. The Van Gogh does behave differently with tension, so it's our only one that tension really does make a difference from making it a little darker, freeing it for a bigger sound.
Got it. Awesome. Any other comments about the LGX?
Get one.
Try it out. And well, listen, hold on. So we have rovnerproducts.com as your website. Can they buy it there, or do they go to sweetwater.com?
So it is brand new, and it's only getting into the distributor's hands next week.
Okay.
So if you want it now, come here. But very soon after that, go to your local, whomever you buy from, and ask for it if they don't have it.
Oh, that's great. So it's going to be basically available everywhere, which is super important. But listen, don't forget though, go to rovnerproducts.com, because if you have questions about, the proper ligature size, seeing all the characteristics of the ligatures, so you know which one that you want to choose, go to rovnerproducts.com. They also have their products available at sweetwater.com as well.
And you can go to our website to look up if you have a particular mouthpiece and you don't know what ligature fits it. It's a great tool where we have a sizing guide to help you.
Yeah, I've used it often. I whenever I recommend their ligatures for my students, I send them over there. So this way I don't have the sizes memorized, so they can definitely check it out at the website. Well, if you haven't noticed, the noise level has increased exponentially.
It's creeping up. Yes, we call that scope creep.
Scope creep is right. Oh my God. Well, listen, George, he's been busy in meetings the whole time. We had to plan this a few days ago, so thank you for spending the time. It's always a pleasure.
Donna, thank you.
Awesome.